Hi,
Hi,
this is Kim.
this is Andy.
We're going to read to you from the Urantia book,
But first,
365 Days of Walking the Red Road by Terry G.
today we hear from Vespasian, a chief, in 1676. On the first meeting with white people, he said, I beg you now to believe, all miserable as we seem in your eyes, we consider ourselves nevertheless much happier than thou, and that we are very content with the little that we have. Thou deceivest thyself greatly if thou thinkest to persuade us that thy country is better than ours. Wow.
Okay,
And
you know what? I'm going to look up that guy.
Vespasian.
Vespasian, go ahead. Okay,
And
go.
did you know the term Eskimo, which means the eater of raw flesh, is considered derogatory by many Alaskan natives? They prefer the term Inuit. So,
Vespasian, a native or inhabitant. Okay, so this of the Gaspé Peninsula in the Canadian province of Quebec. So this is just a Gaspesian person that said that.
mhm.
Okay, a chief of Gaspesian people.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, we got the
And we have the Tao Te Ching.
by Lao Tzu, translation by Derek
Derek Lin.
Lin.
And should we do it the same way?
Yeah, okay. Okay. This is chapter 2.
When the world knows beauty as beauty, ugliness arises. When it knows good as good, evil arises. This being and non-being produce each other. Difficult and easy bring about each other.
Right. So the ideal state is to know neither good nor evil. That's like the state in the Garden of Eden. They didn't know they were naked. Right? Okay. Tao sages have long recognized the relative nature of the world. Values have meaning only in comparison. For instance, a task can only be easy if we compare it to some other task that is more difficult. If there is nothing else to compare with it, the task cannot be rated in terms of difficulty.
Right.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Long
and short reveal each other. High and low support each other. Music and voice harmonize each other. Front and back follows each other. Therefore the sages manage the work of detached actions, conduct the teaching of no words. They work with myriad things but do not control. They create but do not possess. They act but do not presume. They succeed but do not dwell on success. It is because they do not dwell on success that it never goes away.
So it's almost like what you're not perceiving can stay there with you and be one with you. But the minute you perceive it and you point to it, it's apart from you. Right? Because that's separating yourself from it, you know. Okay, similarly, we can say an object is long if we are comparing it to another similar object that is shorter. Half of a duality cannot exist without the other. A descriptive concept creates its own opposite, right? This relative concept applies to everything, even good and evil. What about absolute good and evil? Do they exist in the Tao? Well, we can certainly find absolutes in abstract theory. In the real world, they rarely, if ever, exist. For instance, no metal is absolutely free of impurities. In fact, hardly anything in nature is absolutely pure. We can get close to 100% purity, but never quite reach that absolute state. It is the same with people. Absolute good and evil can exist as concepts. but we will never find them in human beings. We are all mixtures of varying proportions. None of us is any one thing. Okay. Okay. In nature, there's nothing is perfect. So in physical realms, here, but I'm going to say, the Urantia book says that God is good. God is 100% good, right? So that would be like the exception, right? But God chose to um, separate itself, God's self, right, into parts, right? So the only thing that I think of as absolute, for a while, it's like existence is good because that's the only way that things could exist. Otherwise, there'd be just God and there'd be no existence. Right. So God chose that this existence was better than no existence. So being is better than not being. Right?
I think so.
So because there'd be no being, at least we would not be if God hadn't chose that ultimate split.
Right.
So that's the thing, the level that that I was, when I was in college, I had this thing because I didn't know if God was good or not. Right? What if it's some evil scientists up there running things? Right? And we're just like toys. That was pissing me off. And so I decided, well, things are, and this was after I had the doubt, but I thought, okay, since God is good, then being must be good. Being must be good. So God supports being, therefore God is good. What was it say? There is oh gosh, everything that is simply is. There is nothing that is not. There's nothing that doesn't exist. Right?
Right.
So therefore God is good because God supports being in existence. Is that crazy? That's me being like extreme philosophical. Give me that one. Did you understand this? Is that too weird?
No.
Are you sure?
It makes sense to me.
Sort of? Really?
Yep.
Oh gosh, okay. That's why I love you. Okay.
So
all right.
On to the Urantia book. We're in chapter 43. This is section 3. The Most Highs of Norlatiadek.
The Most Highs of Norlatiadek.
I'll let you go.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay. The rulers of the constellations are of the Urantia order of local universe sonship. When commissioned to active duty in the universe as constellation rulers or otherwise, these sons are known as the Most High, since they embody the highest administrative wisdom, coupled with the most far-seeing and intelligent loyalty of all the orders of the local universe sons of God. Their personal integrity and their group loyalty have never been questioned. No disaffection of the Urantia sons has ever occurred in Nebadon. Okay, so there's been no rebel Urantia son has ever occurred in Nebadon. Okay, so in other places maybe, because say Lucifer was one step below that level.
Okay.
Right.
At least 3 Urantia sons are commissioned by Gabriel as the Most Highs of each of the Nebadon constellations. The presiding member of this trio is known as the Constellation Father.
Oh, this is because they're ruled by 3 of them. Yep. And just 2 associates.
And his 2 associates as the Senior Most High and the Junior Most High.
What does that sound like? That sounds like Foundation. Asimov, right? Remember?
Yes, yeah.
How there's the day and the dawn and the
right.
and the dusk.
Right. Yep. The Father, the Son, and the Grandson.
Yeah. Okay.
Constellation Father reigns for 10,000 standard years, about 50,000 Urantia years, having previously served as junior associate and as senior associate for equal periods. The psalmist knew that Urantia was ruled by three constellation fathers and accordingly spoke of their abode in the plural. There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of God, the most holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High.
Wow.
Down through the ages, there has been great confusion on Urantia regarding the various universe rulers. Many later teachers confused their vague and indefinite tribal deities with the Most High Fathers. Still later, the Hebrews merged all of these celestial rulers into a composite deity. One teacher understood that the Most Highs were not the supreme rulers, for he said, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most Highs shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." In the Urantia records, it is very difficult at times to know exactly who is referred to by the term Most High, but Daniel fully understood these matters. He said, "The Most High rules in the kingdom of men and gives it to whomsoever he will."
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
The constellation fathers are little occupied with the individuals of an inhabited planet, but they are closely associated with those legislative and lawmaking functions of the constellations, which so greatly concern every mortal race and national group of the inhabited worlds. Although the constellation regime stands between you and the universe administration, as individuals you would ordinarily be little concerned with the constellation government. Your great interest would normally center in the local system, Satania, but
Which is underneath the right, which is
constellation.
lower than the constellation. Yeah.
But temporarily, Urantia is closely related to the constellation rulers because of certain system and planetary conditions growing out of the Lucifer rebellion.
Yep. So they're more interested in us than they would normally be.
Why don't you finish?
The Urantia Most Highs seized certain phases of planetary authority on the rebellious worlds at the time of the Lucifer secession. They have continued to exercise this power, and the ancients of days long since confirmed this assumption of control over these wayward worlds. They will no doubt continue to exercise this assumed jurisdiction as long as Lucifer lives. Okay, so at the time of this here writing
Mhm,
in 1920 or
mhm,
so,
mhm,
19 teens,
mhm,
Lucifer was still alive.
mhm.
Okay, so we don't even know. There's all this talk about what's the adjudication of Lucifer and stuff like this. Okay, much of this authority would ordinarily, in a local system, be invested in the system sovereign, right? Because Lucifer was the system sovereign, that was his job. Okay, so but now that's being handled by these people on Urantia. But there is still another way in which Urantia became peculiarly related to the Most Highs. When Michael, the Creator Son, was on his terminal bestowal mission, since the successor of Lucifer was not in full authority in the local system, all Urantia affairs which concerned the Michael bestowal were immediately supervised by the Most Highs of Norlatiadek. Okay, because they didn't have a system supervisor there.
Mhm.
When the Creator Son was, yeah, the successor of Lucifer was not in full authority.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
May still not be in full authority.
Well, at the time of Jesus' bestowal to us,
Mhm.
there was no system sovereign still.
Mm.
But I don't know if there is now or not. It says at that time, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so hopefully we can have a good you know what, and I what else I know is because of Caligastia, I know that it says like Jesus took the place of Caligastia in the Caligastia rebellion.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's all it's all, you know, really important. Someday there's going to be like whole college courses taught about like different aspects of this book. I just
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
there'll be a whole college course on just like the angels of that. And there'll be another one on the creator son aspect and all these things.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. All these things to come. All right.
Okay.
Well, that's all we have
That's all we have for now.
for today. So thank you for being here with us and have a really good day.
Hope your day was good.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.